Yep. So this next match will be between Elizabeth Bentley and Carmen Sandiego. Elizabeth Bentley, of course, a veteran spy, has been around for decades and decades and decades. Carmen Sandiego, a former member of Team Vile, going around the world stealing treasures, recently defected from Team Vile, and although not quite joining up with Acme, continues to fight against crime and redeem herself from her former life of vice and thievery.
I was going to say I'm not sure Carmen Sandiego is really a spy necessarily, but I guess I'll have to allow it just this once.
I think she became a spy once she defected from Team Vile. I think that's in the canon and pretty fairly established. As
Was she
far as
ever
the
a
new
double?
Netflix canon, like it's not like the
Okay.
original animated canon, but like the new Netflix series, I think establishes her as a spy. So I think it's okay. We can have her in the bracket.
Fair enough. Maybe we can call her a double agent. At any point was she like working for both Vile and Acme or
Probably.
whatever other organization? All right, there you go.
Probably,
It
yeah.
works. Excellent. Okay, so I feel better about this already. All right, well, shall we move into the venue preferences for these two players?
Let's please do.
Okay, I'm sorry for not keeping up on the extended universe of Carmen Sandiego's crew. I'm sorry.
What do you even spend your time doing? I spend my time looking at draft preferences, and these are some interesting ones. We have a 1 from Elizabeth Bentley on Courtyard and Modern, and 5s on Tayen, Redwoods, and Aquarium. Elizabeth Bentley really not a fan of the occlusion here.
No,
And then on the other side, Carmen Sandiego, a much more ambivalent player, no 1s and no 5s.
yeah, interesting. It makes me think that maybe Elizabeth Bentley is one of the older school players. I know a lot of players, especially with the highlight on Courtyard, but a lot of players really not fan of the older players, especially not fans of the occlusion venues, especially the ones who haven't been maybe as active, like say a Lazy Bear. But let's see how this works out. It looks like we're almost certainly going to be having some Courtyard and probably some Modern as well. Probably Ballroom too.
Probably no Redwoods this set. That's sad to see. But I wouldn't be surprised to see some library, maybe even some balcony again.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. I'm always balcony is always fun to watch, especially when you don't know who the players are. So let's see how this goes.
All right, well, here it comes. Into the Gabriotron we go. Gabriotron 5000 with a recent upgrade here, now with a case and housing. It spits out the optimal draft. I can't wait to see it. And the Gabriotron produces the following draft. It will be Ballroom, Courtyard, Gallery, Library, and Modern.
Yep. And should it come down to it, our overtime is going to be 4 games of Courtyard. And if we get past that, missions equals points on Tayen.
Ooh, interesting. Tayen. Neither player was excited about playing on there. Maybe a little bit of the Gabriotron trying to say, okay, you went to overtime on the maps you don't, on the venues that you like. Fine, we're going to do overtime on the venue that you don't.
All right. Well, based on the venue picks, some interesting speculation about who these players could be, but I guess we can't really get any further until we see them in action.
What would you like to?
Oh, if you're offering.
All right, well, I think that's fair. Lazy Bear, how about you? You up to see how these players perform?
I am.
All right, well, then let's switch right over to it. It will be here Carmen Sandiego on the spy side as Taft on Ballroom to kick off this thing and see how these players perform in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And it will be an immediate stop here at the green bookcase. We're going to go ahead and finish off our drink, pull a book out of here. The venue is pretty actually sparse over to the right-hand side. We could try to get away with this book, but having sipped a drink, it's going to be tough to do.
Yeah, looking at the selections, we have Orange Sari as the ambassador, which leads me to believe that this is just a completely random cast. Meanwhile, as far as highlights go, no cast highlights except for Damon being low lit.
That's a really high-value low light. You don't want to be distracted by Damon animating and reaching up and touching his earpiece. It can be a very distracting animation. Our seduction target here is Kane, and I have to wonder if that might not be random just because Kane is such a high-value character, but given the rest of the cast choices, I would tend to agree this looks like it might be just a completely random selection. And speaking of Kane, we will step into conversation with said seduction target. We're going to be cool here, not go for the flirt too early. Carmen Sandiego, not one to rush into things. And we have been actually in this conversation for a long time without taking a flirt.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is like a really long time to wait. Most spies would certainly do it within, 10 seconds of entering. Finally, when the arrow swings over to us and it's our turn to talk, we do the first flirt. And this is a green test for 50%.
All right, and seduction target leaves after taking a drink. That was kind of close, actually. We're offered a drink here as well, and we will just take an innocent drink. Meanwhile, our seduction target has picked up a briefcase and a highlight for their trouble.
I think that highlight was for statues at the very beginning. Because I think all of the highlights so far have been for statues. That's just Disney and Kane.
All right, well, print gone on that case, and we are just standing here in this conversation. Carmen Sandiego really showing that they're willing to wait and wait and wait so far in this game. Down to 1:35 left to play, and we have one flirt to show for it as we sip break in this conversation. I don't think that's going to be seen with the way Ballroom is playing right now, but something indicative maybe of someone with a little bit less experience.
Yeah, I think that's certainly correct. Either less experience or someone maybe with a little bit of rust to knock off who's just, hasn't been around and has lost track of the animations maybe. And another animation break leaving conversation as well. We're going into center statues. We're going to have to finish this drink off and pick them up. But we're already running low on time. We're down to a minute. And yeah, we'll get our inspects done, but we can't really do a swap here because that wouldn't finish.
Well, we will get highlight, of course. We always can do a swap, but it's going to be very dangerous here. But with a minute left, our avenues to success are starting to close down. And unfortunately, Queen picks up the statue that we needed to inspect. So we're only going to get 2 inspects anyways. This is a problem for us. We're down to 45 seconds. I'm not sure how we're planning to finish here. We can't get a contact right now. We can go over to window and add time, but no, we're just going to enter this conversation and idle. And idle and idle. We're going to go through at least one animation cycle here, though we have shown the ability to break cycles before. There's our animation cycle. We will leave at the end of it. Down to 30 seconds now. We're heading back over to the left-hand side of the venue. We're going to the other statues pad. We're going to try to finish off our inspects over here. That's all well and good. But with 25 seconds left, that's only going to be our first mission completion. No time for flirt here. It's going to be an inspect. Unless we're trying to frame somebody here, and obviously we're not, it's going to be very hard to complete. There's the swap. It's a white swap. The shot comes off for our second mission.
Yeah, I can't imagine that we would have been shot there if we don't swap, but I guess we had to do something. But even so, the only chance was inducing a wrong shot at that point.
Yep, so I think it's fair to say that this player not really on top of the pacing here, and it could be a very new player, or as you say, it could be a player who's just coming and trying to knock off some rust and really just needs to get back in the swing of things.
Or, of course, as we've seen, it could also be a player playing against type, trying to throw off their opponent in the first game to take advantage of it later, even. There's any number of possibilities, and I would hate to rule anything out this early.
All right, fair enough. Well, Elizabeth Bentley is now going to step onto the spy side, and it will be as Kane in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And we miss a pad here.
Ooh. And we just walk away. Yep, it's fine. It's chaos. No one notices. We fail our bug as well. That's unfortunate. So a little bit of shakiness from Elizabeth Bentley early on as well. Whether that's just nerves or maybe a little bit of mechanical issues, hard to say. But we're just gonna purloin right away, and it's not noticed.
All right, I like it. I like it a lot. I don't have any problem with this actually.
Yeah, this is all. We've already seen a lot of stuff. Elizabeth Bentley keeping the gas on, completely unlike Carmen Sandiego earlier. The list missing is noticed. Let's see what the reaction is now from Carmen Sandiego.
Carmen Sandiego, not much of a reaction, but we do pick up a highlight, and that's a pretty good highlight there.
We were initially loaded, actually.
Yep.
Meanwhile, I guess let's look at, we have Ambassador, highlight. I don't know if Toby was low lit before the purloin happened. I don't think so.
You take a weird path through that conversation. That was ugly. I think both of these players perhaps not being super on top of etiquette at this point.
No, they both at this point seem newer. Elizabeth Bentley though seemed pretty calm and okay on the sniper side, just really watching that swap at the end. So there is that. We take this book away and we're going to stand at windows here. And a lot of that early progress from the early purloin has kind of been wasted. And I don't think we know how big of a suspect we really are either.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Down to 1:48 now. We have this book in hand, and I have to imagine it's going to go back in green. Selection targets nearby. We could try to pick up a flirt before we do. We're going to need some progress here, even with that purloin. We can make a lot of progress here on Ballroom, but you can't do it all at the very end. You have to at least set up your flirt for success. And here it is. It's a white test for 68%, and we let off a contact as well, and then into a quick stop talk. As a highlight, that's seen, and that's enough for the shot.
Wow, okay. So Carmen Sandiego way more on top of that purloin than we thought.
Yeah, really nice recovery there after low-lighting the spy, maybe for not having a drink in hand, but then thinking back, and then brings us back up to a highlight.
All right, so that's Ballroom. I think that, yeah, both these players certainly seem below the level maybe of the prior match. And, that's certainly, given the guesses that we've and the community have made, that's certainly not an insult by any means. So going into Courtyard, I think that'll show us a little bit more about both sniper side and spy side, seeing the choices that they make on such a sort of polarized map.
Yeah, I'm going to be really interested to see what happens on Courtyard. Ballroom as a venue is one where you really have to be making progress the whole way through. Sniper has to really be camping all the different sites. But here on Courtyard, these players are going to be a lot more exposed, and their individual choices on things like etiquette, pathing, are going to matter a lot more potentially. So Carmen Sandiego here on the spy side as Ponytail. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, and Courtyard is definitely one of those venues that's a lot more comfortable for a lot of players, just because, as we've talked about, it is kind of maybe the most straightforward, methodical map to play. Carmen Sandiego, by the way, leaving AI control on so far. Taking down under 3 minutes, still on AI control here.
We will finally take control, and the first thing that will happen is a purloin. It's a green, and that is a real strong way to start off your very first interaction with the game here on Courtyard. We immediately run away, and we enter this conversation with the ambassador. There's the take. What's the reaction here?
Yeah, it was certainly noticed. It was zoomed in on. A very, very short chain. But it doesn't look like Elizabeth Bentley was really on top of that purloin chain, as no real lowlights are coming out for people who clearly weren't in it.
Yeah, I think Elizabeth Bentley just not watching that at all. Carmen Sandiego has gotten away with this purloin, I think, completely clean. No highlight onto Orange Sorry either as the list taker. We did get one low light on Kane. We just picked up another low light there actually on Red Dress. Interesting to see what that's for. So far, we've low lit 2 people, and they're both people that have been to statues.
Yeah, which is really interesting. Unless this is some T-Flame-esque highlight strat of tracking statues via lowlights, I'm not sure. But certainly no indications that anybody is on top of the purloin.
Yeah, but I'm nervous about this. Courtyard is not a venue that's forgiving about the timer. We're down to a minute 45, and we've just been stuck in this conversation ever since that purloin. We take a drink as well. We need to really work on our progress here. We need to get our flirts done. It's not going to be easy to do right now with Wheels stuck in that conversation that's pretty full. But down to a minute 30 still, we're going to waste that purloin if we don't make some more progress on our missions.
And we saw this on Ballroom as well. Carmen Sandiego really just idling things away, letting time tick way, way down despite mission progress being done early on. And it looks like the same thing here. Carmen Sandiego really just not having a good grasp of pacing thus far.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to see. A spot opens up in that conversation, but we're just going to talk in this one. And no progress being made now with a minute left to play. I don't think we can finish here.
No, the only play here possibly is to try and frame the taker, which is Sorry. And, if we can get a situation where we can get her into a conversation circle with the double agent and fire off of Banana Bread, all well and good. But even so, I don't think she has any mission progress unless she's credited with fingerprints or a phantom bug or something. I don't think there's going to be any way that we're going to be able to frame Sorry even in this situation.
Something very strange just happened. Salmon went to statues, was high-lit, and then the sniper kind of double-took and low-lit him instead.
They've low-lit everyone going to statue so far. Every single one.
Banana Bread.
All right, so they are using lowlights to track statues, and it seems like that is not a reflexive thing. So this is probably somebody trying to disguise who they really are. That would be my initial take on that one.
Yeah, the fact that there was initially a highlight and then changed to a low light, very strange. We do allow for a fake contact. It's not going to induce a shot at this point. 5 seconds left. We are headed for a timeout, unfortunately, as we step into statues as a place where we've chosen to let the timer run to 0.
Yeah, Carmen Sandiego once again showing just not a great grasp of the pacing and letting time expire, unfortunately.
All right, well, after that purloin, and this makes me wonder how much the sniper may or may not have truly been on top of it, as it looks like the sniper is trying to disguise their behavior here. not taking any lights on that per line. But whatever the case may be, that will be our first game of Courtyard. As we move into our second, it will be Elizabeth Bentley now on the spy side as red dress. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
All right, so let's see what Elizabeth Bentley has for us here. Maybe a little bit of shakiness on that ballroom game, but their sniper, especially with the trolling, maybe to disguise their style, has certainly seen a bit more experience than that. So maybe that was just nerves or something like that, or as we said, shaking rust off. In the meantime, we have the ambassador right behind us, and we just go for a bug walking out of it. It was very, very visible, though.
Indeed, it was. And we go step into the statue pad. This is, I think, someone much more experienced than we were really anticipating. Someone who knows that it's a possibility. Going to a statue pad someone's already at. We pick up a flirt there for 34%. But look at this, Carmen Sandiego picks up a highlight on us as well. Whether that's for the bug or just for visiting a statue pad someone's already at. It's a highlight onto the spy.
I mean, the sort of mechanical shakiness, but bigger concepts feels like somebody who has experience, but maybe just not the game count. I mean, honestly, it feels like something I would do, but these are not my map choices. This isn't me, to be clear, maybe. In any case, though, let's see. We pick up the inspects, we have the bug done, and the pacing for Elizabeth Bentley thus far is pretty strong.
Our search target leaves, and I like this decision from Elizabeth Bentley entering this window pad instead of entering that conversation. I think Elizabeth Bentley is a pretty experienced player at this point.
Yeah, I would agree.
Here and pick up a flirt as well.
Like, I'm gonna say that Elizabeth Bentley is somewhere between like copper and silver. Maybe again with a slightly lower game count, but otherwise a pretty good grasp of like the metagame and what they're doing.
Well, that's 3 missions done. We need 1 more flirt here. The pacing has been very, very different here versus that first game of Ballroom.
Yep, just taking an innocent drink, and at this point we just need to chase down our selection target for 1 more flirt. And I would be pretty shocked if we get shot for that. Yeah, and in fact, we pick up a neutral light as well.
All right, well, 1:10 to find that flirt. Selection target walks past us, which is a little unfortunate. Enters this other conversation, though. We can just chase.
Yeah, we're just waiting for a good moment. As we said, we have plenty of time. We waited for the idol to finish before leaving. Really nice from Elizabeth Bentley. And we enter across from our selection target, jamming ourselves into the middle of this conversation a little bit. But here comes the flirt. It's going to come off, and I don't think we're going to get shot for it. No real reaction from the laser, and it feels like we've gotten away with this cleanly.
All right, well, that will be a win there for Elizabeth Bentley, taking the set 3-1, I believe.
Yep, I think that's where we're at so far. And next we have Gallery.
So we talked a lot about pacing so far for Carmen Sandiego on Ballroom and Courtyard. Gallery, of course, is the true test of pacing for a spy. A lot of work here Carmen Sandiego is going to have to do as Disney. And I'm really interested to see what Elizabeth Bentley's sniping style looks like on this venue. Will we continue to see the kind of very strange lights that we've seen so far? Or will it be more traditional lighting? I really don't know.
No, nor do I. But let's see what they have to offer us here.
All right, well, let's get into it here. Carmen Sandiego as Disney on Gallery in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
All right, well, the party's not helping us out very much. We're just going to turn around and try to chase out our selection target who just bounces around multiple times, changes direction a few times, and we just give up and go out the windows instead.
Yeah, we could time it while we're out here. Almost everybody's inside, so the time has noticed it's death. But if it's not noticed, it's free time, and Carmen Sandiego could probably use it. But instead, we're going to head back inside. Looks like trying to chase down our seduction target at the very top of the venue. And we will enter conversation here.
Or not. We're going to go into bookshelves instead, which is kind of a strange choice, not prioritizing the flirt there.
Well, it turns out to have been a good choice. The seduction target leaves conversation right around when we would have joined. I'm not sure we would have been able to get that flirt as it is. So Carmen Sandiego, perhaps a huge student of AI behavior, knowing not to enter that conversation. Whatever it is, we're just going to innocently put this book back. And now everyone we might want to talk to has moved far away from this conversation. Seduction target, though, maybe coming back. We could stop here. Yes, we will stop here at opinion and maybe look to see if we can rejoin that conversation with the seduction target.
Yeah, worth noting as well that currently Elizabeth Bentley has gone back to standard statue highlights instead of some strange low light scheme. And otherwise, I'm not really noticing any sort of fingerprint tracking or anything like that. So maybe that was just a Courtyard special.
Yeah, perhaps Courtyard being a venue where you really have enough control as a sniper to pull out those kinds of plays. Gallery one maybe where you want to revert to a more standard way of sniping. But whatever the case, we pick up our first flirt here, 34%. That is our first mission progress here on Gallery with 2 minutes 20 left to go. We're going to have to be looking for some kind of late game rush if we intend to finish missions here.
Yeah, I'm seeing more of the same from Carmen Sandiego. It seems like that was not just a choice. This is just kind of more of a trait of their spy play, just not really having a good grasp on pacing yet, which definitely leads me to believe that this is more of an inexperienced player for sure. And here comes another purloin. This has also been a hallmark of their play. It's visible, the list is seen, and again, no real reaction coming off. But I gotta think that Elizabeth Bentley knows that the list has been taken already.
Yep, I think that's probably right. And I suspect Elizabeth Bentley is playing with our hearts a little bit here and has a pretty good idea of who is in the chain, given what we've seen so far.
Yeah, I would agree. Based on this, I think that Carmen Sandiego is a dead spy walking, and Elizabeth Bentley is just waiting for more progress. Yep, here come the lowlights now. Very delayed, but Elizabeth Bentley seemingly on top of things.
Yeah, those delayed lowlights confuse me a little bit, actually. Not sure why we're taking them now if it's really not necessary. We also highlight Orange Sorry here for being its statues. The sniper play continues to confound me a bit here, especially these little bit haphazard zoom-ins. But of course, this all could just be playing with borrowed time if we know exactly who's in the chain.
Yep, that's certainly true as well. I think we missed the pad there a little bit, and then enter onto the statue to pick it up. We finished the drink, and we're going to pick up the statue here and now. And that's fine, but even so, we're just running out of time here. Like, unless we get a flurry of stuff done, like go back to the other statues immediately, swap, and then pick up banana bread, we're going to be really hard-pressed to finish.
Well, there's our first set of inspects done. 45 seconds left. What's our next play here? We're kind of just hanging out here at statues for an awkwardly long time before we move off. And it looks like we are heading over to conversation, but our seduction target not here. And it looks like we have 26 seconds. I don't think it's going to be enough time for us to finish or make it to a window. We're going to be timing out once more.
Yeah, at this point, I can't see a shot coming off unless we do something like miss another pad. I'm not sure if these are missed pads or just sort of weird animation, but either way, we're going for the statue, but it doesn't matter because at this point, there's no way we can even finish without overtime ticking in. So the sniper completely aware of that, just letting it time out, and Elizabeth Bentley picking up yet another win.
Yeah, I think that's totally true. And so I think the main obstacle here for Carmen Sandiego as Carmen Sandiego goes back and maybe watches these plays is just pacing, right? It's there's some mechanical issues for sure in terms of pads and so on, but I think the biggest thing here is just making sure to continue to get steady progress throughout the entire game, not freezing up in conversations. I think those kinds of things would dramatically improve Carmen Sandiego's play going forward.
I think that's true. Also, the purloins thus far have just not really been at opportune times. I mean, I know we were joking yesterday about Checker being one of the players, but these have all really seemed like just kind of impulse Checker purloins as well.
All right, well, that will take us out of our first game of Gallery and into our second. And it looks like Elizabeth Bentley now looking for the 5th point. And it will be here as Salmon in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, Elizabeth Bentley takes control immediately. And based on what we've seen so far, I would be shocked to see Elizabeth Bentley time out here. Instead, she is going to just kind of hang on. I thought we were going to go next to our seduction target. Instead, we're going to go into the other bookshelf and kind of overlap with Twin a little bit.
Yeah, look at this laser angle. It's kind of interesting. If the sniper is reading this laser angle, they are aware that they're really not on screen and can go for this transfer with impunity. But it's a microfilm animation on the green side. That's the easier side to do it on. We're going to have to contend with blue sometime later.
Yeah, but that's okay. I mean, it's still early, and we're just going to wedge ourselves into the conversation here at the bottom of Gallery, pick up our first flirt, 51%, no problem.
All right, that's flirt progress is good to see here. We could go for this contact as well. Outside conversation, completely empty, but you really don't want to miss a chance to talk to your double agent. Instead, it will be a white purloin here Let's see what the reaction is from Carmen Sandiego. Trey is visible. That list is missing. We get highlight for the purloin. That's nice to see here.
Banana bread.
There's the banana bread as well. We're talking during it. That's 2 missions done. Some lowlights coming off here from Carmen Sandiego. Quite a few lowlights, actually. That's good to see. We're still highlight here. We were definitely seen talking for the banana bread. That's 2 missions done. We're halfway done on flirt, and we have microfilm in pocket. 2.5 minutes left to go. The pacing here very good from Elizabeth Bentley. They just have to close it out.
The question is, though, I mean, again, how much of a suspect are we? We white purloined and immediately picked up a highlight for it. I got to think that, I mean, against many players, we would just be dead right now. And it seems like Carmen Sandiego, maybe not completely on top of things, but at least has pretty strong suspicion and at least knows that we were involved in that purloin in some way, shape, or form.
Yep, I think that's absolutely right. We're standing here in the back conversation now, 2 minutes 10. We still have to find at least one more flirt. Our production target's at bookcase. Doesn't really help us, so we're going to step into blue books here and try to do the second half of our animation.
Yep, I wonder if we're going to take this book out. I wouldn't be shocked if we take it out and just kind of do it at the outside of the venue to disguise it a little bit, especially given how zoomed in Carmen Sandiego has been in on the inside versus the outside. Yeah, we take the book out. We're just going to stop on this pad here, try and finish up our flirt, but unfortunately we get sunshined as Rocker has had enough of this painting and walks away.
Yeah, we're not going to try to animation here either. We go for the read, but we quickly put the book back. Time is starting to tick down a little bit here. 1.5 minutes to go now as we step into evidence. We're going to read this book again. Will we animate here on the left-hand side of the venue? It's the preferred side to do it, and there's the animation. Extremely visible on camera, and Carmen Sandiego takes the immediate shot, was following us the whole way.
Yeah, that purloin was clearly caught, and Carmen Sandiego pretty on top of things. Good job by them just staying aware and keeping things pretty close.
Yeah, and good job being on top of the purloin there at the back of gallery. It can be very hard when the conversation is this full, as it absolutely was, even being really confident who Toby is offering to at any given time. And so to pick up on that white purloin and get the right highlight off of it, I think we were the only person that picked up that highlight for the purloin. Now, of course, we do have the take animation, but seeing the list there, getting the highlight, that's really good to see.
So, I can't get into the next game. Are you guys encountering a bug here?
Yes, I can't load that.
Gabriel. Or Checker, either way.
Hold on. So it's 4-2 right now, I believe, to Elizabeth Bentley.
Yes, I agree with that.
Let's try to jump one ahead and see if maybe we have to skip a game. We wouldn't know, though. Hold on.
Gabriel, if you're here, any input?
Hold the order for now. I'll try to solve that. If you can.
Well, okay. I'm able to log in to move into the next game with Elizabeth Bentley as spy again.
I am not. The next one also bugs out for me.
Oh, that's fine for me. Elizabeth Bentley as spy on library loads for me.
Huh.
The one Lazy Bear that took place at 9:16:08 p.m.
Yeah, but the next game is Carmen spying, right? On library?
Right. That one can't load.
That one can't load? Okay, then it's just that one. I just
Correct.
mixed it up. Yeah, it's just that one.
All right, so we'll just skip that one for now.
All right, yeah.
Gabriel can either tell us what the results were, or if he can find a working replay, then we'll just go back and do it out of order, I guess. But rather than bogging things down, I guess let's just move on to the next spy game with Elizabeth Bentley as spy again, as looks like boots or brown belt.
All right, well, we have here Buns as spy, Elizabeth Bentley on library. Lazy Bear, you ready to go?
Yep.
All right, let's get into it in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
All right, so Elizabeth Bentley doing a little redirect there right at the beginning. I'm going into 3 at bookshelf here right away to pick up this first flirt. She's going to pick up the book first, though, before the flirt, showing a little bit of experience once again.
Yep, that's a flirt for 28%. No reason not to take it as we take this green book away. Carmen Sandiego doing some cast lowlights here. No light on the ambassador yet. And the right side of this party is extremely packed, actually. Carmen Sandiego checking the left side, finding it completely empty, swinging back around to the right-hand side. And we're just going to join conversation here. We're with the double agent. We could even go for this contact, but instead we'll just hit the flirt. It will take us up to 62% with 4 minutes left to play.
Yep, going well so far. I almost expected to see a reverse drive-by there at window pads as the ambassador walked by behind us. It would have been on camera though, and I respect the choice to not, but just based on the aggression that Elizabeth Bentley has shown thus far, it wouldn't have surprised me to see just more aggressive play like that Purloin on gallery. Anyway, here comes
Go
the
for a
bug
bug.
instead. Yeah, never mind. I stand corrected. The aggression is still very much in play here.
And that makes me think we are definitely going to be hard transferring this book. That would be very much on brand. We could try to rush this down a little bit, although those early flirts aren't great for it. This is Library 5 of 8. I feel like we could definitely finish this with a minute and a half left to go if we really step on the gas and we really want to.
Yeah, I think that's true as well. Elizabeth Bentley has shown like enough sense of pacing to really be able to force missions done if necessary. And with one hardtail done and the second one literally in hand, like if the remaining missions are just the soft tells, then Elizabeth Bentley could in theory finish really, really quick if needed.
Well, we're in conversation with the double agent here. Chance to left a contact. It'll be a really rough one if we do. It would put a lot of pressure on the sniper in terms of the people that are left in conversation.
Yep,
And there it
here
is. Here it comes.
Banana bread.
A lot of lowlights available, but let's see what Carmen's reaction is. Not a lot of lowlights being taken right now. General finally picks up a lowlight, but we also pick up a lowlight, and I'm not sure why.
Yeah, that's not the lowlight that we wanted. Maybe just thinking not enough people in that conversation seemed more likely like a fake than a real. But unfortunately for Carmen, it is a real, and we hard transfer the book. That's 3 missions done on library with 2 minutes 20 left to play as a lowlight.
Yeah, I mean, again, all at this point we can just finish up our flirt and go to center statues, and like I think Elizabeth Bentley has a pretty good idea that they are not a suspect. I would not be shocked just to see a finish at around finish this flirt, finish around a minute 30 at statues, and just dare the sniper to shoot.
Yeah, unfortunately, our seduction target leaves. Elizabeth Bentley with the camera shake when that happens. Probably aware that camera shaking for the casters is a thing. There's a clue. And chasing now the seduction target all the way down to the other side of the venue. The good thing for us, the selection target is in conversation. The other good thing for us is that the selection target is in conversation near statues on this side, so we can still finish off with center inspects here after we finish off our flirt, which we will do, I'm sure, right here. And it's a green test. We needed that. That's 100% done on the flirt. We can step into center statues, and we can just finish this right here, right now. But no, we go for the briefcase.
Interesting. I mean, I guess that is less visible, and if we aren't sure how much of a suspect we really are, then having that option to finish with a second fingerprint instead maybe isn't bad. I want to point out that Carmen Sandiego did take a couple of bouncing lowlights from this, which unusual for a newer player, and certainly not something that I kind of expected to see, to be honest.
Are we time adding here? We go to the window. This is one of the things that could get us killed, but no, it's going to be White Dress who takes a shot instead.
Yeah, White Dress just ends up getting shot there for, I guess, finishing fingerprints. Yeah, Carmen Sandiego really just not on top of things. That banana bread really just confused them, I think, and ended up kind of throwing their control of the party into chaos.
Banana bread.
Yeah, the shot immediately comes off for the briefcase return, and that's all she wrote in terms of that game.
So, let's see. I guess, well, we have at least one more game, so...
Well, we have a new replay available to us.
Oh, do we? Let's see.
We do.
So that guarantees that Carmen got a point, right?
Yeah, so Carmen had to have picked up a point there at the end.
Yeah.
So this should be 5-3, but I guess we should go back and just see that last game, right?
Yeah, so the replay that was bugged, I think we've now been provided.
Oh, we have?
We have.
Yeah, it works for me, at least.
So I will go ahead and load that up over here.
I'm not able to download it, so that's a problem.
Try harder.
Yeah, I really should.
Actually, I'm not sure I can load it either. Wait, what's that?
Fantastic. Well, we know the results at any rate. Are you getting through it okay, Lazy Bear, or are you having trouble as well?
Let me check. I'm just a little bit slower than you guys. Yeah, it's working for me.
Okay. Well, if it's working for you guys, I will just cast off the stream, I guess, or something
I
like
will
that.
also cast off the stream, I guess.
All right, that makes sense. We'll just be a little bit behind the stream. Bear with us as we get through this map. We already know the results, so we'll just try and get through it, I guess.
All right, well, it looks like it will be Ponytail here on the spy side as Carmen Sandiego on Library. We're doing it live in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
All right, not too bad. We're only about a second behind here. We go for a bug, and we actually get it right there at the very beginning. We pick up a highlight instead as well, but that might just be for center statues.
Yeah, that bug is going to help a lot. Center statues here. Carmen Sandiego, perhaps aware of their pacing issues, and said, you know what, enough is enough. I'm going to do missions here on Library and see what happens. And I really like it. We're going to start off here with 2 missions done with 4 minutes 15 left to play, and we managed to get that inspect off before Disney takes it away from us.
Yeah, that's a 3 cycle, but no big deal. All right, well, so Carmen Sandiego clearly showing a departure from form here, picking up a bug and an inspect with 4 minutes still remaining. This pacing is breakneck. The question is how much suspicion that early statues is really going to be given to us with the early highlight as well. I think Elizabeth Bentley has been pretty good with her highlights thus far on statues and keeping track of who has what done. So let's see what Carmen chooses to do here. If she chooses to slow things down, as has been her wont, or she chooses to keep up the pace and actually get missions done here.
Well, we have our flirt. We're in conversation with the double agent. I would not mind just taking this contact and getting another mission in the books. We have 3.5 minutes left to go. There will still be plenty of people in conversation that don't get low light and a chance to run around and mess with the party. We're going to request a drink. Carmen Sandiego again leading into the Purloin game.
But no Purloin coming off. Just taking an innocent drink here. Actually, it's fingerprintable, so not so innocent after all.
All right, well, we're still working on missions here. I'm glad to see it. I like this play coming from Carmen Sandiego here on Library. Doing missions, especially when you're switching it up against an opponent where you've been timing out and playing slow for a lot of the match, can be very effective here. Double agent still in conversation, and it looks like we are now going to take the contact, and it's going to be a decent enough one by any stretch. That is 3 missions done and partial progress on 2 more with almost 3 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, Carmen Sandiego really, again, just turning on the gas compared to the previous play on basically every spy game thus far. 3 missions done, 2 more partial missions done. Really, it looks like we should have no problem finishing here. Just 1 more flirt at our leisure, picking up the briefcase right there, even if we so choose, and that'll be done.
Yeah, our selection target goes to Sculpture. We could chase and go for that flirt, but we're not going to. Instead, we're going to have to wait and see where our selection target lands. There's nothing left for us here in this conversation. We should be moving on. And I'd really like to see us go force 1 more print, get 1 more flirt, and end this game with a minute left on the clock.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, the selection target is landed in that conversation right next to us, and it feels like we can just go over there, finish this flirt right away, and just find that last print really anywhere we can.
Yeah, I don't want to see us get stuck in this conversation again. We've seen that happen on other venues here. Now we're all alone. We will finally leave. We can go get this flirt from the selection target. That will get another mission completion, and it looks like we will. I like this play, and there's going to need 1 more fingerprint with 2 minutes to find it here. And how much of a suspect can we really be at this point? I have to imagine, even if we're the top suspect, we can't be a super threatening one.
No, unless that bug was seen. That's really the wild card here. But there really is no indication that it was. I mean, I feel like if there were even strong suspicion of that bug, we would have been shot just going to center statues there. So instead, I think Carmen Sandiego is probably in pretty good shape. But even if we pick up a very obvious second fingerprint, the mission count is probably going to be off.
All right, well, we now have a minute and a half to find that print. The briefcase is in Mom's hands. That's not where we need it to be. And Mom's going to put it down. Now, here's a question. Do we want to go pick up this briefcase and get it back into the ambassador's hands? It means we'll be seen carrying on a briefcase, even if we don't get a print off of it, but it's an investment because it means the ambassador has another chance to put it down somewhere and leave a print for us. Now with the ambassador in conversation, they're not going to books or anything, so that might be the only way we can do this. And it looks like, yes, Carmen Sandiego has decided to go for the briefcase here and put it back to the ambassador's hands. We do have a chance for a difficult print, and if we take it here, we could finish right here, right now, but it is going to be a red. We have to give this back. We have 51 seconds left, and we have to hope that we can get 1 more print here.
Yeah, Carmen Sandiego, again, still looking like in pretty good shape to finish, but time has ticked down from the 2 minutes plus remaining that we had down to under a minute, ticking down onto 30 seconds, actually. But the ambassador puts the briefcase down. And I wouldn't hate to see us just stand right next to them and force it away. But no, we get the books instead. And this is going to really complicate things, having a book in hand. It means we're not going to be able to pick up a drink if possible because Toby's coming over to the ambassador. And we have to force the ambassador out to pick up this briefcase.
I'm so worried about this. It looks like Queen's going to join conversation and force the ambassador away. And if we can pounce on the briefcase there, but it's going to be a very late briefcase and it's probably going to be overtime. What's the play here?
What? No, you can't do this. Carmen, this is not a legal briefcase. We pick it up and we just dance. Carmen Sandiego is dancing. But no shot's coming off. No shot comes off. And instead the wrong shot comes off on Taft.
No!
I'm very glad we found that replay.
Oh my god, I'm so happy. Amazing. Carmen Sandiego pulling a win out of thin air with the illegal briefcase, then a bit of dancing, and Elizabeth Bentley waits for just a moment to try and get the shot right, but barely misses and ends up not clearing the background and taking the shot onto Taft, the suspected double agent at bookshelves.
And I think that dance decision is so interesting. I just want to sit here and think about this play for just a second. I mean, we're down to like 5 seconds or something like that. And we know we need to get that briefcase to win the game. And whatever our decisions up to that point have been, that's where we are now. So we go and we get the briefcase. It's an illegal briefcase. And then we dance behind this conversation. But we have 10 seconds that we have to survive. And there's no way, I think, that we can reasonably expect to dance behind that conversation and not get shot for that long. And so if we just go there and we get the briefcase and we just stand still and we dare Elizabeth Bentley to be sure that that's an illegal briefcase, that's another option we had there instead of trying to dance behind that conversation, because we only danced there for like 3 or 4 seconds. And that motion of the head going back and forth, I think really draws the sniper's attention to us.
No, that definitely felt like a desperation play for sure. And I mean, keep in mind at this point, the score was 5-1 going into that one.
Yeah, you're right.
So Carmen Sandiego probably feeling a bit dispirited and just feeling like they had nothing left to lose at that point. And it worked out for them. And then they picked up the next sniper win as well and bringing it into Modern with a chance to actually tie things up.
Yeah, absolutely true. A bit of a recovery there from Carmen Sandiego's sweeping library with just complete change to their playstyle as Spy. And I really like to see it. I really hope we can continue it here into Modern, which can be just as punishing in terms of pacing as Library and Gallery can be, frankly.
All right. Well, let's see if they can bring it back once again. Again, we've played this out of order, so we're going to see Carmen as Spy once again here.
All right. It will be as Disney. Let's get into it in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
All right. So we're just going to take control, do a quick turn away, and go check. But we're not close enough to our seduction target to get this flirt in, unfortunately. It looks like that was the plan, but we're just slightly too far away to pick that up.
Yep. And then one thing I was worried that could have happened there, if we just right-click looking for the flirt and do a watch check to add time, but Carmen Sandiego on top of the action priorities sees that it wouldn't be the flirt, doesn't want to do the time add, and left-clicks for the watch check instead. And we have bar highlights here coming off from Elizabeth Bentley as Carmen Sandiego leaves that conversation and steps into blue books.
Yeah, so Carmen Sandiego, once again, despite that library game last time, we're now seeing, once again, some pacing issues come out. And Modena is definitely a venue where pacing can really, really hit you hard. Same as Gallery, to be honest. And Carmen Sandiego is just idling a lot of time away without getting any mission progress done. We put this book back as well, wasting even more time. We have no flirts, no banana bread, nothing.
Yep, down now to almost 3 minutes left to play. We are going to step into bar, presumably pick up a delegate here. But delegate's a pretty slow way to get a mission done. And we get highlight for the bar visit.
Yeah, the bar highlights have been pretty standard thus far. Notice that Twin had come to bar, picked up a highlight for it, and doesn't get low lit for walking away without a drink as well. We're going to go out here and do it. There have been enough highlights for bar visits that a delegate here maybe isn't the worst option. But at this point, it's pretty clear that Carmen Sandiego isn't really leaning into frames. They're kind of just doing stuff when it occurs to them, and they're not really paying attention to who has possible mission progress for getting these things done.
Down to 2.5 minutes now. I don't mind all this early idling from Carmen Sandiego as long as we make mission on progress on missions, quickly late in the game. That's what I'm worried about here. We're not firing off the delegate either in this conversation. And some of these highlights, are starting to come down.
Yep. Once again, we're just sitting in this conversation with nothing doing. We finally fire off the delegate, And the low light comes off, but I don't think this is going to go off because I think the timing is just not going to work out. And we get neutral lit again because of it. The delegate purloin timer expires just as Queen gets to bar. And we're not getting credit for this mission as well. We're down under 2 minutes now. Again, 0 mission progress.
Modern 4 of 8 is a venue where you can provoke a civ shot here. Much harder on Modern 5 of 8, of course. But Carmen Sandiego would have to show some hard tell to have any chance of that happening here. And with a minute 40 now still in this conversation, still talking, very worried about our pacing here.
Yeah, I am as well. I mean, I think this is definitely Carmen maybe reverting into form. And unfortunately, unless we do something kind of crazy here, I wouldn't be shocked to see another timeout.
All right, well, it looks like we will join conversation here with our seduction target. Pick up our first piece of mission progress if we go for this flirt. But it looks like we're content to just stand here. And to be fair, no reason to flirt here. And we look at the flirt actually, just as our seduction target leaves. And I would love to see us just go to bar and take the list. Because at this point, with a minute left, that's kind of our only avenue to victory. And so whatever the chances of that victory are, if it's our best shot with where we are, it's the action we should take.
No, I absolutely agree. Maybe even fire off banana bread before doing it.
Instead, we pick up a flirt. 40 seconds left now. And I agree, firing off a banana bread, always a good choice when you don't have any mission progress. There's basically no real downside. And there it is. There's the fake banana bread. But I don't think that's going to be enough to provoke a shot just yet. We have to show something a little more.
No, and we almost don't even have time to delegate or to direct purloin or swap at this point. Like, we've just wasted too much time. Like, even if we go, there's going to be there would be an overtime for a potential finisher. And
safety off.
Wow. Elizabeth Bentley, despite no mission progress done whatsoever, just all over us for maybe etiquette or just in tune with what we're doing here. And unfortunately, time takes down 1 second 0, and we time out once again.
All right, so I don't know what that safety off flash is for, but that's some impressive piece of sniping there from Elizabeth Bentley. I wouldn't be surprised if something like that was the result of someone who plays a lot of daily challenge, maybe. Someone who's seen a lot of spies and has a sense of how you can identify one when they're not making mission progress.
Yeah, that's certainly true. And also, again, after having seen, I think this is the 4th spy game for Carmen Sandiego, certainly some experience with their playstyle and what they're trying to accomplish on the spy side.
All right, well, that would be the end of the set. Elizabeth Bentley takes it 6-3, I believe.
Yep, I think that's correct. All right, before we go into our guesses and opinions, let's do the player get. Gabrielle, are you serious? Would you like to share? Would you like to
go ahead and describe for chat what the guesses were?
Sure.
Carmen Sandiego. Okay, thank you, Gabrielle. I appreciate that.
Oh, okay. That's a little bit better.
Gabrielle is in fact trolling the casters, in case anyone was wondering. So Carmen Sandiego's guess for their opponent is Menatters. And Elizabeth Bentley's guess for their opponent is Menatters. Oh, wait, no, that was not correct. Elizabeth Bentley's guess for their opponent is Philemon.
All right, well, what do you think about those? I don't think that... I mean, I haven't watched... Yeah, I don't really either. I mean, I haven't watched a lot of Phil's play this season. But I don't think that they have really the same pacing issues that Carmen Sandiego showed on Spy.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And Menatters as Elizabeth Bentley, I just don't feel like the kind of, frankly, the kind of strange behaviors we saw on the sniper side are something I would expect from Menatters, even in the Hidden Cup.
No, I would agree. It definitely feels like both of these are maybe less experienced players. But Elizabeth Bentley had enough control and enough, maybe playfulness is the word, to be willing to mix things up and troll potential viewers in the future. And especially, I think, once she felt like the game or the match was well in hand, we definitely saw some more varied play out of them. So I think Elizabeth Bentley is probably a more experienced player.
The thing that confuses me about Elizabeth Bentley is that very first game on Ballroom, where we saw some missed pads, if I remember correctly, some pacing issues. It was just a very different game than the rest of the spy games from Elizabeth Bentley. And that could be just trying to suss out some stuff about the sniper, or it could be, as we speculated at the time, someone trying to shake off some rust. But it was a very strange game compared to the other 4.
Yeah. Either you have any guess that you'd like to hazard?
So I was going to guess T-Flame for Elizabeth Bentley, based on a couple of things, but I just can't get away from the lowlights on Courtyard as something that I feel like T-Flame might do.
Okay, that's a fair choice. Also, I think T-Flame also has that troll streak, which also could come into play here.
And
I
T-Flame
do.
was talking a lot in chat during those games, so I feel like it's a solid choice.
That is certainly a solid choice, yeah. I felt like T-Flame may be a little bit more of a solid player on both sides, but again, we didn't really see a lot out of them here. So I was going to say maybe somebody a little bit lower down in the rankings, but hard to say. Lazy Bear, what are your thoughts?
For Elizabeth or both of them?
Go with both. Why not?
Like, Elizabeth is really hard to place because it really feels like a player that it's a veteran, but it's kind of rusty-ish on certain things. So, like, like, they're hitting greens like crazy. They're very aggro. But there's small details that are a little bit rusty. That makes sense. So,
You know what? Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, so
And
my
based
initial... Yeah, go.
I was going to say, I'm going to throw a guess out there and say that Elizabeth Bentley is SEMO.
Yeah, could be. My guess was turnout 8, but now I don't feel like that's the case.
I like the SEMO guess. I could get on board with that.
Especially based on the map choices as well. 5s on all 3 of the new occlusion ones, and a 1 on Courtyard.
Okay, I'm here for it. And then, Sped Monkey, what do you think about Carmen Sandiego?
So based on what we saw there, I'm going to say that Carmen Sandiego is probably going to be one of our challenger players. And keep in mind too that this match may have been played months ago, and some of them have certainly put in a ton of games since then. So it's kind of difficult to say based on even their current form, based on their form that they were maybe a month or 2 ago. But I think especially based on the maybe lack of highlights around the banana bread, it could certainly be either Oak or Challenger, one of those sort of newer players who are just getting into the scene.
Yeah, I agree.
That's not a guess. I've been taking note of these non-guesses, and that's not a guess, Sped Monkey.
You want me to pull a name out? Fine. Based on the names, I will go with Yosh.
Yeah, I'm going to guess from the names that we have available on the guest list. I'm going to go with Yosh as well. Mostly just around the pacing. I think pacing is one of the hardest things for new players to get a really good grasp on. That's something I struggle a lot with myself. And so pacing and the lack of lights on some of the banana breads makes me think it's someone with a significantly lower just game count. Just they haven't incorporated that part into their play yet. And I think in terms of the people on the guest list, Yosh has one of the lowest game counts.
All right. Well, I think that will just about do it for this Hidden Cup cast. Any final thoughts, guys?
No, it's a shame about the replay, but we got it working. I thought the first set was pretty insane. Like, it was really entertaining, and I really loved the second set as well. So that was fun matches.
Yeah, absolutely. Corvus, any final thoughts?
Be sure to check out the second half of the round of 32. This was only the first half, if you can believe it or not. On the 4th cast, we have 4 more casts, I believe, to finish off that before we move into the bracket stage of 16. I know that there's a number of community members that are tracking guesses, speculation, that kind of thing. Check out in the SpyParty Discord, discord.gg/SpyParty, the Hidden Cup discussion channel. If you are somehow watching this Hidden Cup cast and are not already a member of that Discord, probably very confused, but check it out there. Participate in the guessing, participate in the speculation. Gabriel, I'm sure, will be posting the replays for this cast at some point, and you can take them apart and dig them out and digest them to your heart's content.
One last thing. I believe the outro will be one final rendition of our Rockapella homage, and I think Corvus will be posting a music video later on.
Yep, so we'll have that to enjoy. Until then, everyone stay safe, enjoy the serenading from me and Sped Monkey, and have a great rest of your weekend. Boo boo wop, boo 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 wop, boo 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 wop. Well, she flirts around the circles from the ballroom to veranda. She's in it for one reason, beat Elizabeth Bentley. She lowlights for whatever, not just camper propaganda. Tell me where in the venue is
Carmen, Sandiego.
Steal the guest list straight from Toby, then gulp down what's in her mug. She will highlight you for pathing and shoot for banana bread. She's got general's interest, cause she's queen of finding bugs. Tell me where in the venue is
Carmen, Sandiego.
She go from high-rise to courtyard, modern to library, from terrace to Tayen to redwoods and back. Well, she'll flout a local ordinance, slam a green book in the red case. She'll notice when you miss the pad and punish when you cough. She always hits the green print and she knows the rules for briefcase. Tell me where in the venue is
Carmen, Sandiego.
Tell me where in the venue is Carmen Sandiego. She's a member of Team Do Stuff and she'll delegate a stranger. She'll never miss a hardtail and count missions perfectly. She's got no cane or salmon clothes cause she's never in danger. Tell me where in the venue is
Carmen, Sandiego.
She go from window to CC to briefcase and redirect painting to statue and Is she slipping on a blazer, or is that her in the white gown? Did she fake lowlight the spy when they read over the case? She just 3-greened on balcony, she's in the mission countdown. Tell me where in the venue is
Carmen, Sandiego.
Tell me where in the venue is Carmen Sandiego. Tell me who is the player playin'.
Carmen, Sandiego.